Okay, I'm at it again. I don't know, just playing. Um, I'm intrigued with making these reversible, double-sided, hidden paper clips. Well, first I printed out some pretty vases and I mirror imaged them, as you can see. So, not that it would matter because they're quite symmetrical. These I didn't even bother because they are exactly symmetrical. So I just printed those out. And the first thing I did was I made my double-sided vase paper clip. You can see the paper clip kind of the shadow of it. But if I hold it like this, you can't. And the nice thing is on the other side of the page, you got the same thing. So that was pretty handy. Then I thought, well, I need to put some flowers in the vase. And I was playing with some ideas of just gluing some flowers on top of the vase. At the same time, I had a napkin and I was using that wonderful technique. I wish I could remember her name now. Susan Taylor Brown, I believe, yes, taught me with the Mod Podge on. In this case, I didn't even use cardstock. I just used regular copy paper. And I printed out this beautiful napkin, as you can see here, very close. And, okay, now I'm going to pause so I can show you the napkin. So here is the napkin, and as you can see, it's adhered to regular copy paper using that Mod Podge technique, which I'm really crazy about. And since this was a bit of a luncheon napkin, I had a little piece, I forget which end it was now, and I had a little piece of this left over. So to fill up the thing, I just added that piece. So I'm sure I'll use that on something. So as I was cutting out my little bouquet, let's see if I can figure out where they went. Yeah, okay, see that there? Okay. I looked very closely, focusing on that red flower, and discovered that, lo and behold, the artist that made these used a mirror image. A mirror image. Yes, I said, oh my goodness. So, and I was just going to finesse this shape, that is, put a close enough facsimile of the same one. And in fact, this one is the same one up here. But lo and behold, over here was the mirror image. How convenient was that? So I cut them both out, and they're both on copy paper. Okay, then the next little aha moment, I was going to glue this on top of the vase, right? And so it would be really nifty. Now I do have a rather long, whoopsie, let me see if I can get it, paper clip in this one. It's really long and strong. So because I have really hundreds of these. So I decided to use that for this one. And I'll use it for the remainder of those. But then I thought, well, if I used a smaller paper clip on this one and do it the same way I did this one, I could have interchangeable. I could actually use this as a separate paper clip, which is a pretty little bouquet, or slide it onto the vases, including this one when I get it done, because it would work. I found a little white paper clip. Now these are those plastic coated ones that are a little shorter, and I used the same technique. There's a piece of extra cardstock in there, and the key to this technique, so you don't get yourself in trouble, is to have a piece of non-porous, see that shine on there, waxed paper, doubled, that I could clip. It doesn't have to be doubled, actually. Yes, it does, because you want to have it on both sides for gluing. Because what I do is I glue the vase to one side. I clip the piece of cardstock that has the paper clip on it, and I add a lot of glue. But to get it all lined up and to not have it smear everywhere, and you want to keep this part here unglued. I don't know that you can see that. I probably have to do a video, but I think most people, there are things on the internet now that will enable you to know that. But anyway, you can hardly see it inside, so I can't tell you that. But there's a piece of cardstock that's folded. Yeah, you have to fold the cardstock. Let's see if this one is folded. Yeah, like this. And then you put the paper, in this case, I think I used this for the small paper clip. But what you do is you clip it on here. Let's see. Hold on. Whoops. Okay, so I've got the paper clip clipped on the folded piece of cardstock. Let me see if I won't get it. And I slide it onto this non-stick surface. I, on one side, apply glue rather thickly through here. If you have, I don't know, in this case I used Eileen's Tack It Over, but the other one I used the 3-in-1 glue. I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, glue over here, and then you put your little vase, one side of it on top, and let it set. And then you kind of wiggle it around so you know that it will move, this piece. And then you flip this piece over and take the other side of your vase, line it up as best you can. But if you've already glued the one side and a little bit dry, you can actually remove it to size it up. And then add your glue on this side to the inside of here and on here and here. And then you put your vase wherever you want to position it so that it matches up with the one on the other side. Anyway, that's the same technique I used for this. Only I used, I think, let's see if I can see it. There's just a little piece of cardstock in there. Anyway, very similar to what I just showed you. And of course, I'm going to probably put some color on the inside of here, maybe a pink in this bright color here, just to, because I like to do that sort of thing. But anyway, what happens is it now, it's hard to do this with my left hand. Anyway, I'm going to pause this to show you. So you can see that the paper clip is on the outside of this piece and the outside of this piece in here. If I were to spread it open, you know, I would bend the paper clip. And of course, that's the part that goes on the paper. So it's important. I probably did not leave it long enough because I needed to cover up that. And I needed to let it set before I started fiddling with it. You know, this one needs just a dab more glue. I may insert that glue in there. But the point is that middle section has to be the part that goes over the paper clip. So now, pause this. I've used the paper clip and it's on this piece. It can be on a page or anything. Now I've got this piece and see if I can make it work. Anyway, you get the idea. Once this dries, one piece of paper will go on one side, the other piece of paper goes on the other side, and it will slide down. And voila! I can take it on or take it off, and it is pretty no matter what side you put it on. And if I choose to take this piece off, it can come off and be another paper clip, or put on when I get this one done. Same thing. Anyway, I know my camera work is terrible. I should never do it quite this way. And you know, I have a device that hangs around my neck and I could film, but I get so excited. I want to share it immediately and I don't do a very professional job. But in the long run, if you get the idea and it stimulates you, an idea that you might want to work with, I make a whole bunch of these because I love these little clips. Yeah, there's other things I can do with this. I could make it shiny by putting, what's that stuff on it? Oh, darn, glossy accents. That would make it really pretty. But anyway, I'm going to try a couple of other different bouquet ideas. But I was lucky enough. In this case, I found on the napkin the exact mirror image of this little bouquet. That made this a nice little surprise. I was just going to finesse cutting a piece similar in shape somewhere else on the napkin that wouldn't have made it exact, but it would have gotten the idea. Plus, with my Inktense blocks, I could have filled in some spots and made it look similar. So that's kind of what I was really going for in the beginning, and then I recognized I had the mirror image right before me. So an interesting idea if you need something fun and different. I've been making these clips. Let's see if I can find my little box. Yeah, here they are. I've made this one here, which I love, my little kitty. I don't know where I got this image, and it may be copyrighted, so I'm going to use this one for my personal use. And I just stuck it on a piece of cardstock that had dictionary page. But now I think I'm going to look for an image. I have a whole page of these ready to go. This is a sticker, by the way, so it makes it a little easier. I think I'm going to look for a little sofa or a cloud. First, I thought of a cloud to perch him on because I have several different styles of this kitty. And I'm looking for an image with like a fat sofa that I can cut out and use as a paper clip. That would be kind of fun, perched on the back of a sofa. Cloud idea was my first one, but I think that's a better one. I made a couple more of these. This is the kind of the vintage one. And as you see, let's see if you can see. No, it's very hard to see inside, but you guys get the idea, right? I use color to color the edges so that if you can see a little bit of it, that's like a file folder maybe, or cardstock. But anyway, this one is, and maybe I could decorate that one a little bit more. My first idea though, my little prototype, that's not very sophisticated, and I only used regular copy paper. I cut out this one, and just to see if it would work, and made myself a little silly little imitation vase because I cut it out in this shape. You can see the paper clip embedded. This is nothing but copy paper. If it were cardstock, it would be concealed a little bit better. But anyway, I went with the idea, and then I put this little flower that I had on top, and I thought, you know what, that's kind of cute. Now this one's glued on, and I did not glue another one on the back. That's what I would have done if this weren't this was a prototype just to see if I could make this thing work, and it works. You can't see this one, it's paper clipped inside, but it does work. Let me see if I can do this with my hand. Yeah, see? So there. That's the one I did originally. And then G. Carr, I have downloaded some of her freebies, and then I've also downloaded the autumn kit that she has. So I have this one here also hidden on both sides. And I might put a flower on there. And then this fall clip, which seemed to be in an interesting shape. So I have that one as well. And I have already printed out on cardstock mirror images. The big leaf up there has I'm going to do a paper clip with that one. Another tag, a backward tag, and so on and so forth. And then these I thought would be interesting as clips. So I have two of those, one up there, and they'll fit back to back. So if you can make them symmetrical, that's the idea. But I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's making me happy. That's why I'm doing it. And it's kind of fun. And I always like challenging things. The business of Susan Taylor Brown's ability to put napkins on anything thinly coated with Mod Podge has been exciting for me because I can just go ahead and do that. And that's where I got the flowers, these flowers. I also have this napkin being used. I'm trying to make some kind of journal out of it as well. But I'll be able to put this on here. Won't that be cute too? So I may use that a lot more. I may make several of those. I have friends. And then the nice thing is, in my imaging program that I use to print these, I can turn these to black and white. So it'll be a chinoiserie, or however you say that, in black and white, which I'm particularly fond of. And it would be pretty nice. So I may do that next.